Welcome to the best gaming podcast on the internet.
You'll find nothing better.
It's the DweeBros Podcast. I'm your host, Zach, aka Dweebo, aka Pink Boy.
You are very pink.
Yeah.
Like pinker than normal. What's that shirt from?
Mega 64.
That's a really nice shirt.
Shirts. Yeah, I really like it.
Where do they get their designs?
They have a couple artists that work for them, and
is there like
they cycle them out. And
is
stuff.
there like any relevancy to that shirt? Like why?
Their show, like their web show, uses that helmet and stuff. So there's like a story to it and stuff. So.
Okay, cool.
Put all that stuff in. So.
If you were some rando like walking down the street, they probably look at it and be like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
Makes them like want
to. But I've got compliments from people that are obviously not. They're just people out and about.
Yeah.
But so it's a cool design because you got the hardcore fans. They know what's up, and then you get people just think it's a cool shirt.
Yeah.
So
No, I just
win. And then we've got Jacob.
What's up, everybody?
Werewolf.
Oh. It's been a while since I've howled.
It has.
It's been a long time.
You may notice we are one short tonight. The camera's been cropped. We usually don't crop it when someone's not here, but Travis is not here.
Yeah.
In the last podcast, I specifically said, I'm not sure what you guys said, but I specifically said I have lived through the swine flu, H1N1, all this other
SARS,
stuff,
the whole
SARS, the Spanish flu. I like all the stuff we have survived. And I said, coronavirus is no problem. And what happens the podcast after? We've got Travis quarantined. I don't know what's going on.
Not allowed to touch the room. Not allowed to be around anybody.
We had to push back our filming for the podcast. I was like, get better, my man. And he's still not better. So, just think about that next time you're going to go, oh, Travis needs to be on the podcast. Yeah, well.
We wouldn't be here.
We messed up. Or we did not. We belittled the impact of coronavirus.
He'll be missed. He'll be missed.
So, hopefully he comes back after they... take him out of quarantine. I don't know where he's at in New Mexico.
Wish him well in the comments, obviously. Tell him.
No, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he is ill. So
yeah, very ill.
So he'll be back when he's not that way.
There you go.
Because we don't want to contract that. You know how Japan is closing down all their... Did you hear about this?
So
Japan is closing down all their schools till they get this figured out.
This is the game pandemic, and it's so funny because we always joke around because the media makes a bigger deal out of it than what it really is. Yeah. But I always envision, and I know this isn't true, but it's like somebody is sitting on a toilet somewhere, like this is God on a toilet playing Pandemic on his phone with us. And he's like, coronavirus, China, let's see how this bad boy goes.
Let's take some stuff out.
Obviously, that's not really what's happening, but, that's how I envision it because, have you played Pandemic on the phone? Have you played it before? You never played that game? Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I had heard about it through the board game.
Yeah, there is a board. Dude, what? You're like the fourth person to mention the board game over the...
Yeah, I didn't know about the app.
There's an app. It's the
youngins
game.
Know about the app, I guess.
Dude, why would you play a board game? You can put it on your phone.
That's
play
true.
it on your phone. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Japan closed down all their schools and stuff, so we made the decision to close down Travis being on the podcast. So we're all taking steps. Kojima Productions, did you see this?
No.
They were going to come to PAX East. And they skipped it. They said, hey, we want to because of the coronavirus stuff. And it seemed more like, because Japan, there's more people contracted there, it sounds like. It sounded more like, hey, if in case one of us have it or
they're
whatever.
Very packed in.
Yeah, and they're they are so cordial, caring culture. Because if you ever see, they always have the mask on because they don't want to get other people sick. And they're hey, we don't want to step on any toes. So I thought that was very nice of them to do.
It is very, very nice. Still sucks. Feel bad.
Yeah, it still sucks they couldn't make it. But as we've lost Travis to illness, not coronavirus, obviously, but I'm still holding. We're gonna ride out the storm. We're gonna be okay with the coronavirus. So that's your coronavirus update. I'm glad you came and watched the DweeBros podcast
for just an update for coronavirus.
That's the show. Hope you enjoyed. But we have another problem in this world. I want to get your thoughts on it. I have recently found myself, because I am playing PSVR game, playing Blood and Truth. I'm playing different PS4 games.
Okay.
And I ran into an issue where I love collecting games. I love getting physical, games and
copies.
And I've always loved having those. What I noticed probably from halfway in this generation till now, we started losing kind of the manuals.
Yeah.
And they were just kind of paper slips. And now they are literally just the disc in the cheapest case.
Oh, possible.
And the case is cut out. It's just like the most basic package. And then with Spyro was a recent example. With the Spyro games, you didn't get the third game or the second game. You had to download that. It wasn't on the disc.
Yeah. Is that...
So the disc only had 2 games. You still had to download something. So here's where I'm at. I am hyper physical collector. But what I've noticed is with the current packages, with some of these like games getting physical, there's not really a value there. They're very basic. I guess if you get the steelbook, maybe with them.
The steelbook is what I think gets me.
The steelbooks are kind of cool, but even then, there's not like a manual which have cool like illustrations in them and stuff.
No, honestly, most of the time when you get like a case, you open it up and all the info you need is on the backside of the insert in the case.
Yes, and so here's my problem. I'm having to get up because I'm changing disc and we're playing different hangout games and I'm changing disc. And I'll click a game and I'll be sitting back just chilled and it'll be like, got to insert the disc first. So I have to go up there and hunt it and get it and take it out. And I'm finding myself
hating that,
looking at it because I've already gone all digital for like movies and music. But I held back on games because games are just, I like collecting stuff. But now it's like, is it worth it to trade all this and just do digital only? Because I already do digital only for PC games.
Yes.
I don't buy big box because those are literally like a slip of paper. A
giant box.
It's literally a box, and then you open it, and it's a slip of paper with the download.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, why are we buying it? That to me does not make no sense. So I'm looking at the PS5 generation. I won't do it now, but looking at the PS5 generation, I'm thinking maybe I'll go full digital. I don't know. But here's the other issue. Physical games usually go down in price sooner than
the digital.
But I'm fine with buying physical on sale and then selling it at some point, and then I can always download it later if I really want to get it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
So
how do you collect right now?
I do not collect.
Okay.
I'm not like a very avid. I have like some loose Nintendo 64 games.
Yeah.
I have some loose Dreamcast games that I really, really care about. But I'm not like an avid physical collector. I never have been.
What are you doing like Switch and what are you doing for your PS4?
I have them currently in a physical format.
They're all physical.
But they're not every single one of them. Yeah. I would say my whole Xbox library is completely digital.
Okay.
100% digital.
Wow.
Don't have a single physical.
Your Xbox One.
Completely, like all the 100 games, like it's all digital.
And that makes sense because you have Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, I have Game Pass, and then on top of that, I have some games I purchased as well. I didn't see the point of it. Like I was like, I'm only turning you on, and the UI is so stupid as like the operating system you use in Xbox is so dumb as it is.
Oh yeah, it's just the worst.
I learned that I'm like, if I go to the games folder, that's where my games are, and that's all I care about.
Yeah.
I don't want anything else. I don't need anything else. I don't want to put a disc in. It might pull something up I don't know. Like I just don't want to risk it. PlayStation, on the other hand, is split. It's half and half.
You have some digital and some
I have like
physical.
8 digital games currently. I don't have them all downloaded, but I have 8 digital games. The games I really, really care about, I buy physical. So Spider-Man, prime example, I bought completely physical.
Yeah.
100%. I love that game. I wanted a physical copy. God of War, I bought a physical copy. The games, I'm like, I'm going to play this, and honestly, I'm going to play it a lot.
Yeah.
Like MLB The Show and Madden and all that, I buy digital.
Oh, so you can easily
just switch out.
If you're playing that, it's like, I'm always going to boot this up every night, so I don't want to switch it.
Honestly, it's really convenient because there was a time convenient. I had God of War in the PlayStation. I'll play God of War and be like, I'm kind of over this. And then instead of me having to get up, I just hit the PlayStation button, went straight to Madden, played Madden.
Yeah, that is convenient. Another convenient factor is they preload the games.
Yes.
If you pre-order them. So on day one, I just come in here and it's already loaded up that morning of, and it's already the whole game is
That's
there.
crazy to me.
That is really convenient.
Coming from the era where like
because if you have physical, you have to put it in and then
update.
Have to wait.
Yeah.
And it's like I hate doing that when you're like that anticipation of playing it. It's like I don't know. I'm kind of stuck. I'm kind of like we'll see what the PS5.
I would if the Switch had a bigger memory capacity, I would go completely digital. I really would in a heartbeat But it's because the capacity is so small. I'm limited. I have to be physical.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't want to get like one of those micro SDs that are.
I have one.
Okay.
I have a 256 gig.
Oh, really?
But I have a lot of Switch games. I have a lot of Switch games. I didn't realize how much I have.
And I'm sure with the PS5, I would run out of space eventually too. But I would just delete the ones I hadn't played in a while. Even on the PS4 Pro, because you have to install the games with the physical disc. If it's an older game, it's like, I haven't played this in 2 years. I'll delete that. Like, I won't keep the full Final Fantasy 15 or stuff on there.
I have a terabyte hard drive for my PlayStation 4 Pro, and I'm trying to think, like, I have 8 games, not currently installed, but you could probably get 12 to 15 games on there. Like, that's a good library of games that install that you're playing.
Of being able to switch out, almost like a your current playing games.
Yeah, because I actually found myself recently, because I don't know how often, I went to my PC library, and I ended up going through and cleaning it up. Because I realized I had so many games installed that I was like, I haven't played you in forever. Yeah. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, I've played it in a long time, but I just haven't touched you. So I would go through and uninstall them.
Sure.
Because I'm like, I'm not playing, you're not my current rotation, and you're just taking up space.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about Steam is you can uninstall it and you can still save your save data and stuff. Just reinstall it later and pick it up right where you left off.
That's why I really like Steam. So kind of what I've been doing this whole generation is any third-party games I'm usually getting on the PC. I will say Cyberpunk is the first one that's like third-party and it's on Steam and everywhere that I'm getting on PS4 Pro because I'm not sure how my computer would run it.
I think it's best. I think you would probably enjoy that game more sitting back on the couch playing it.
Yeah,
I would agree with you on that one.
But
I think that game for me though is definitely a PC game.
So stay tuned for Zach's problem. We'll see what
are you worried about that, like from a collector? Because you're a major collector.
Yeah, I'm a major collector. So it's like, will I resent myself? Like, I should have got these physical, or and if there's a cool collector's edition for a game that I really enjoy, I think I'll still buy it, even though I'm not.
You think it's going to drive the collector's value like up even more because of that? Like the Switch, like we're going digital, but now that they're making limited run editions.
I'm not really worried about that. I'm not really worried about collecting as much like that stuff, especially like limited run games. So that's a good example. I'll always do those indie games, and they'll come out with limited run. I don't usually care. Like to get.
What about Gravity Rush?
I didn't get that. That came out. I think that wasn't a limited run, but it came out on PS4. They ported it to PS4.
Okay, I thought that was a limited run on PS4.
It was a limited, like not a limited run, like the limited run games, but it was very limited. But
okay, I was just curious because I know like you really care about having the physical copy, but you're right.
I usually do, but the convenience is almost trumping that. It's really on the verge. If the game boxes still had the manuals and there was more, I don't know what it was, like just more like cool stuff in the manuals, I think I would like.
I just had an epiphany.
I'd still get the physical.
Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Epiphany? Yeah. You remember when the Virtual Boy was a thing?
Yeah.
And you remember how it worked? Do you ever watch a documentary on how it worked? So like if you had played the Virtual Boy and you wanted to remove, like you wanted to play a new game, you had to take your head away, you had to remove the cartridge, put the cartridge back in, then put your head back in.
Yeah.
And I was sitting here, I was like, I play a lot of VR, and I was like, man, what if I had to take my headset off every single time and want to play a new game? But you kind of have to do that when you want to play PSVR games.
Yeah.
I just realized that.
Now, that's interesting because I do have like Job Simulator digital. I have the demo stuff digital and stuff. Or no, I have to switch that out. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of games in one disc.
Yeah. But even then,
there was something else I got digital. But yeah, I have to switch out. I have Batman up there and I have the Blood and Truth, and I have to physically.
See, that sucks.
And I think that might have been the moment. That might have been.
That really sucks because when I play Oculus, I'm like, I'm done with this game. Click the button. I go to. I'm on to my next game. Like just like that. So that's actually kind of funny.
So I'm like
that.
on the verge. I'm on the verge. I can go either way. But like this freaking Zelda collector's edition I got with the sword and stuff, the Breath of the Wild, like I would still buy stuff like that. Like the Zelda stuff.
I think there are games that you really enjoy playing, and
this
you're
Death Stranding baby, you had to get that.
Also, I think another issue though is I think people are starting to realize the game resale value after you buy it has been so abysmal.
Oh yeah, because it drops in price to 40. Like it quickly
happens.
Now, if you sell quickly, I've done that before. Like Dragon Quest 11, I didn't like how slow it was, and I sold that game, and I got $40 back. Yeah. After everything was done.
But that sucks. Then you're like, I paid a $20 rental fee for this stinking game.
Basically, yeah.
And that right there is even frustrating in itself because it's literally like a car. You drove it. As soon as you walk out of that game store. But that is something I
will lose if I don't like the game. I can't sell it.
Yeah.
So I gotta weigh these options.
I think Steam does it best though because they're like, hey, you have 5 hours of gameplay time or a certain amount of time to return the game for a full refund. That right there to me is like, that is awesome because it's like you buy a game and you genuinely do not like it. You
Speaking of which, that goes into some news I just remembered that was announced. GOG.
Yeah.
Is it Good Old Games? Something. It's the people that own the Witcher series.
Yeah.
And stuff. Frick. Who is it? Cyberpunk or CD Projekt Red.
Okay,
they
there you
run
go.
GOG or whatever. And they announced that they are letting you return the games, no question asked now. If you buy them digitally, they're letting you get a refund on the games. And I don't know if there's a time limit. It didn't sound like it was, and people were like freaking out online.
Why?
For GOG and stuff. They're just very consumer friendly. So maybe that's a way to go.
How do you stay profitable?
I think they're just doing it out of like, if you abuse it, they'll shut you down. But if you're just like a good customer and they're getting goodwill from this, and so people will pay a ton to like support their libraries on there now. And if people do say like, I don't like this, they can take the hit for a business. You know what I mean? They're able to take that. But
that
shouts
kind of
out,
awesome. That stuff's awesome.
CD Projekt Red. That's awesome.
That's top level. Like being able to do that because again, you can't in the days where you can't rent games pretty much anymore. Like that's out the window. We still have a video rental store by the way here in Hamilton. Like, how crazy is that? We still have one. Like we actually have two.
And you know what it is? It's a family video. And with family video. I read about them recently because I said, how are there so many and how are they in business? And I found out that it is all based on real estate. If you ever notice with most family videos, this one doesn't really have it. They might have something inside there if you go. They're probably sharing it with some other business or a product. They're usually connected to a Little Caesars or a Subway or something. And what it is they're buying the real estate and those people are paying them and it's supporting like... the real estate. It's
why be open though? Like,
but it's profitable to where they're able to still do it around the country. So.
I just don't get it. I drive past all the time. And they're like, straight A's, you get a free rental. And I was like, what kid is driving past? Like, I got straight A's. Let's go rent a movie.
I hope the future, because Stadia has freaking bombed. It either will get to that point where it's doable, or what I would prefer is something like a Nintendo Online where you can download that stuff. Just with a extremely better library than Nintendo Online, which has 4 NES games a year they add. It seems like that I don't care about. But something like that where you can download from a library of games that you have free service to. But
we're getting there.
Let us download it.
I think the digital era is very, very close, if not almost already here.
Yeah.
Like Google obviously bombed it.
Yeah,
horrendously.
I said in our group chat the other day, is Stadia going to last longer or coronavirus? What's going to go down first?
It's bad.
That is a new bad.
Stadia is in a bad spot right now.
But let's talk about games we did play physically with a disc. Or actually, this first one played digitally.
Yeah, dude.
So Travis brought over his PlayStation 4 because he bought it. He did the early access. We did a hangout. Check that out on the channel for Dreams. That was the big release this month.
I am... 100% like I am entrenched in school. I haven't played any games this month. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Did you check out? Did you jump in the?
I did. Okay. I did. I didn't get to play any games this month. The Dreams is on the top of my freaking list.
Man, after playing it, so I come from playing Little Big Planet 1 back in the day. And that was side-scrolling, and most people did side-scrolling stuff, but people got crazy and somehow worked the system to make 3D.
Yes.
With the 2D engine.
And
crazy. And I love Little Big Planet because I would just be bored and I would boot that up and play other people's levels.
Online.
Yeah, and it was so freaking fun to play other people's creations, and it was unlimited gameplay.
But the best part of that creator was they went out in like 2 and 3. They just you know what? Let them do it. Like I don't care. Like don't let them. Give them the tools to do it, and it got better and better. I loved Little Big Planet. That's why Dreams. I'm so interested in it because
Dreams is literally it is a full game development system. But imagine that also like a social media network connecting that. All built in, and is so intuitive. It is so just the creations that are coming out of it. Like people that don't have a lot of experience making games are able to like make incredible creations. And we were playing some goofy stuff, but we were playing some awesome stuff too. Like there was a game on the Hangout you'll see where you have to rack up as much damage in a museum. So you have a bat, and you have to like make sure the security guards aren't watching you. That is the stuff I've thought about. You know what I mean? Like not that exact ideal, but like go crazy kind of ideals and little nugget ideals that most game developers aren't going to make a whole thing out of, but a cute little project on Dreams is where it should land. It is awesome. We had a really freaking fun time. So
I do have a question in that regards, because I know with Dreams, people they're getting crazy.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, there's an Avatar, The Last Airbender project.
Yeah.
That someone's been pouring their life into. There's a bunch of Sonic games. People are claiming they can make a better Sonic game than Sega and Dreams. When does copyright kick in?
I was thinking that when I was watching that. All the stuff that we were looking for was all copyrighted stuff. Well, let's find Mario. Let's find a Halo.
Oh, there's a Mario. There's a Legend of Zelda game. There's a Mario
tons
game.
of Legend of Zelda stuff. I don't know. It hasn't happened yet. It's cracking me up because it is so borrowing. We're basically playing games we could already play a better version of, but it's fun to see what people create.
It's a meme. It's a giant meme. I'm sorry at this point.
It's these little goofy things that people made, and it just cracks me up. But
so you're not really sure about the copyright at all? I'm not either. That's what
I think because it's I don't know. I think they're protected because it doesn't seem like anybody's making any noise about it. But
and they're right. I watched those videos. I sat there and I was like, if someone made an animated video of Legend of Zelda and it blew up on YouTube, Nintendo would take that down. I think
because they're not making money off it. Dreams might be because people want to play the Dreams.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Put in the comments if they're gonna get sued, or I don't know.
Put the statures in the comments. Let us know. Yeah. I want to play Dreams. I just need to find some freaking time to do so.
I definitely want to pick that one up, and then that would be a good one. Maybe get digital too.
Yes,
because
I would get that game digital wholeheartedly.
Swapping it out. Mm-hmm. We played something together.
Yeah,
Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Kakarot, dude. What was it? So when we were playing it, we talked about kind of the history of Dragon Ball Z and what we thought. What was your thoughts of the game?
It was really fun. I mostly just watched you kind of play.
Yeah.
But it's an action RPG. It tells the story of Dragon Ball Z. I kind of was more involved in like the story and what was going on there. But it looked freaking amazing. The
great.
Style, they've just nailed that style. Some parts looked like it was empty and stuff lying around to a bit.
Yeah.
Is that kind of a complaint?
You're right there. It's very the in between parts to scene is kind of dead. So they made a big deal of like, oh yeah, you can fly around the whole world of Dragon Ball Z, and you're like, you're right.
Yeah, but maybe we didn't need to.
Yeah,
maybe it would have been better to kind of narrow it down and design it more.
Yes.
Like you're kind of stuck. I don't
know. I like the game a lot. I actually got to the point where I can now turn Super Saiyan. I'm in the Android Saga. Yeah. I'm getting to the point where I'm not quite in the Android Saga. I'm in the in-between Frieza and Android, like they're training. Yeah. Apparently, I get to go drive cars soon with Piccolo.
Oh,
you remember
nice.
that episode? I think we talked about that. Yeah, I get to do that soon. So I just haven't picked it up yet to play it again. But I do want to touch on one thing, and that's the art style of that game.
Yeah.
Because we were watching. I went back and watched the Hangout again.
This was awesome.
And man, some of those shots, yeah, dude, it was so. Because like Fighters, when Dragon Ball Fighter Z came out, I was thoroughly impressed with that game because it kind of took Dragon Ball Z and it did its own little thing. It was like that. I want to say it's cel shaded. What is it? I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like It's a cartoon, but it's like I don't know. Like It's
very good cel shading.
Is it cel shading?
Of what?
Of the game. Like, is that what the kind of style?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure. I didn't want to use that incorrectly.
But it's very good cel shading to where it looks like a cartoon, like an anime, I mean. But.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, So then they take that and they turn it into a full-scale adventure game. Like, Bandai has not done that Dragon Ball Z wrong in any way.
Yeah.
Like, every game they've made has been pretty stinking awesome. And those games, they make the Naruto games. Like, they have their hand in anime.
They have their hand in anime. But
they really do.
Yeah, I had fun. And
that actually sparks another question. You've been big into Attack on Titans? Have you played the Attack on Titans game?
No.
Why not?
I just don't. All those games based on anime outside of that was fun, but like I haven't heard the best thing. Like there hasn't been enough buzz to get me like
interested into it.
But I did download the demo to the Kill la Kill game because that takes place after the story of the main thing. So I was wanting to check that out. So
Oh, that's actually
maybe we'll hear from that eventually, because me and my wife are going through it again. So this will be my second time through, and I was going to wait till I finished it again, so everything was fresh in my mind. But
no, okay, go ahead. Makes sense. That makes complete sense then.
Anime,
hey,
but there's more. There's more to anime than that game. Another cel-shaded game, actually, Rogue Galaxy. So I did a hangout for it just recently. It's a game from Level 5, who made Dark Cloud 1, 2, Dragon Quest 8 on the PS2. They made Professor Layton games.
Yeah.
That's more of the recent kind of stuff. So I played that the other night, last night actually, while we're filming this. And that is the coziest game. It just has these flutes playing and this music, and that's how Dark Cloud 1 and 2 game. They are the coziest games I own.
Yeah.
You sit back, it's an action RPG, it doesn't take a lot out of you.
You just relax.
You're walking around the towns, you're talking to people, you're buying your weapons. It is so low-key, and I love, love, love that game. So check out that hangout if you want to see some more. I'll probably continue playing that, because it's just... This will be my second time through it. This game came out in 2006, which was a weird time, because Xbox 360 was out, so there was HD games, and I'm playing a PS2 game.
14 years ago.
This came out. Yeah, I was saying, like, that was 14 years ago.
Wow.
How was that 14 years ago?
I was 10.
Oh my god. But yeah, that's an awesome game. Check out more of that and hang out, and I'll have more of that. Devil May Cry 5. So I've been going through the Devil May Cry games.
You have been.
This game I've been having fun with, and I think, though, I still put Devil May Cry 3 and recently 4 above it.
No, isn't this one this is the one that caused some problems, right?
Did it cause problems?
I thought it was this was the one, because they made Devil May Cry and then they made a separate version. Am I correct? Like, they made one game.
Oh, DMC. DMC was the problem.
DMC was the problem child.
Yeah, this one.
Okay, this one's not the problem. This is the clean one.
That was the black sheep of the family.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I was on
Devil
the
May
same
Cry
page.
5 was pretty much universally loved, and I'm having a great time with it. And there's some the animations are up there with some of the Metal Gear 5 animations and some of the stuff, unbelievable animations and sword attacks and stuff. Oh, so good. I will say all the environments kind of look the same, and this was kind of my complaints kind of throughout the series at times. But everything has this kind of almost husk of bees nest kind of looking things around. They call it the chlorophyll or some, I don't even know. It's the stuff that's taken over the world, and a lot of that stuff looks the same. That's kind of my complaint throughout the series, but the characters are really fun, except for one. And this is another big complaint with the game, and then I'll get to more of the good stuff. There's a character named V. And V's character is that kid from high school. If you only had the intellect that I had, perhaps your inner dwelling of your brain would be better. You know what I mean? The very nerdy, geeky kid that's cringe.
Please stop talking.
How are you, my lady? That kind of person put into a character, and it's gosh, every time he talks. So where I'm at now, he's much better because something that's happening to his character.
Oh, okay.
But his character controls with his mind, or he's using this dark magic, these this panther he can create in front of him, and the panther attacks for him, and he has a bird that attacks for him. So with Dante and and Nero, these other characters you play, you have one button for a physical attack, and then you have your guns you're shooting.
Yes.
But with him, one of the attacks is the panther, and the other is the bird attacking. So that's kind of cool at times, but his character was driving me up a wall. But again, the graphics are incredible. The gameplay is just gonzo, and I'm having a good time with it. I think I need to play these games at normal quality. I think I'm flying through them too much on easy. Really? So maybe that's part of my mix on this game. But it is good. I'm having fun.
Yeah, you played Dark Souls, so that question's probably irrelevant to the situation, because I'm kind of I'm a story boy.
Also, this game has, and Devil May Cry 3 had this they have a seriousness of Devil May Cry and attacking and stuff, and then it will just go so stupid silly. So in Devil May Cry 5, and this was an unfortunate timing when it originally came out, was when that Michael Jackson documentary came out. Do you remember that?
Oh.
Because there's a part in this that is so funny. I'm going to spoil just a tiny part.
Spoilers.
He gets this guy or this girl's like, hey, I'm a big fan of you, and gives Dante a hat and throws him a cowboy hat that gives him like this other power. But he grabs it and he goes, and he puts it on, and the lights come out like a concert show, and it's like a Thriller. He does the Thriller kind of like dance and stuff. And I think they even said back then, it was like, oh, it's supposed to be Michael Jackson. It's Michael Jackson or whatever.
Yeah, of course it is.
Unfortunate timing it came out, but it was so funny, and it's
it has to be Michael
wall.
Jackson. Like,
yeah,
that's
but it's
exactly.
so off the wall funny. So I'm towards the end of that. I'm like 3/4 of the way through. But
nice.
Good time. I think I like 3 or 4 a little bit better what they were doing, but 5 has cool stuff.
Yeah.
In it. And then lastly, put this game to bed.
Thank God.
We did a hangout. I highly encourage people to at least watch the last.
Oh, please watch the last
one. Were you
one.
in it?
Yes, I was in it.
Shenmue III. At the very, I was beating the game, and we had my poor friend, John.
Oh, he was
over.
hysterical.
Yeah. My friend John, so he comes over, and before we even start, I'm like, hey, we're playing, because he came over for the first time playing Shenmue 3, and I showed him the game, and he's like,
this sucks.
He's just like, he doesn't really, it's funny that he comes on to Hangouts because he doesn't usually play games anymore, but he's wanting to have, he has some PS2 games he played back in the day, he wants to talk with us and hang out with us, but he doesn't really play games anymore, so it's kind of exciting to show him some of the new stuff, and he was looking, and he was just like, oh God, is this what you're doing? Like, he just cannot believe what he's seeing. So I put him through hell, the part 1, doing Shenmue 3, and I got towards the end. Shout out AOI told me that you have to have all this money at one point. So I got all the money, I got past that point, and I knew the end was near. I looked it up and was like, okay, this is the last area. I'm going to beat it on the stream. And I get there, and well, John, when he comes in, I was like, hey, we're playing Shenmue again. He's like, oh God. And I was like, that's why I didn't tell you. I was like, just come over and hang out. And he's like, yeah, I can make it. I didn't tell him what game. We're at the final boss, and I find out during the final boss that you can use by looking up a YouTube video. The whole game, I could have had this drink that I could heal myself during a battle. I did all of Shenmue 3 without using healing during a battle. I just did it in one shot and just leveled up to where I got it. I find out you have to kind of do that during the final boss. You have to heal at least once. Okay. It is so difficult. It is good to heal once. I don't have enough money, and I'm stuck on this one place, and I've saved it, and you can't go back to where you were before. And I could load another save, but I was trying to beat it for the hangout, so I had to pick weeds. There's herbs. So I'm in first person running around, and John is like, hey, I got to be up at 5. I got to be at 5:30. I got to put the kids to bed. Like, I can't do, like, he's just sitting there, and I'm just dying laughing because I'm literally just picking up weeds. He came over to watch his friend pick up weeds. So please check out the final minutes of that.
I absolutely loved, because I watched the first part of it when you were playing, and I was like, man, this game looks like a Dreamcast game. Yeah. It really does. And then I watched Shenmue 3 when I got to see the actual combat where you're kicking. And I was like,
yeah. I like the combat. I think the combat's fun.
It's such an up the wall type of game. Because it's literally...
The combat can get kind of cool.
They took a game from 480p and made it 1080p.
Yes, they just remastered a Dreamcast game.
Yeah.
But I beat this game, and I'm watching the ending, and it ends on a cliffhanger. And I told in the last podcast that the developer said, at the end of... Now that we're about halfway through the story. So, prepare for the Shenmue 4 hangout. I don't know how they're going to fund it.
Go fund me, man.
Yeah.
They have to wait 5 years, though, for people
who
don't want it.
I don't think I'm going to be a contributor to this one. I think I've had my fill. Thank you for Shenmue 3.
What if they're like, hey, Kojima, we need you to help out with the project?
If Kojima hanks out. If he hanks out.
We need
your help. Helps out with this, maybe.
I might back it.
But I will definitely be there.
Shenmue Stranding.
I have to. I'm too invested now.
You really are.
I've got 3 games in, so I have to do it.
I'm thoroughly impressed. Like, one, the Shenmue 3 had such a big backing, but then the game you got was everything you thought it would be, honestly.
It honestly is so true to the vision of the originals, for better and worse, that it's amazing it got made. It's amazing it came out. It is a disaster of a game if you're not a fan. It is absolutely... I give it a butt on my scale, which is a 2 out of 10. It's a 2 out of 10. It's not a complete failure of a game, but it is literally a butt is what I give it. A 2 out of
Not
2 out of
complete
5. 2 out of 5 on my scale.
Okay.
Wouldn't recommend it at all. I recommend the Hangouts. I think the Hangouts are fun. Even AOI in the chat or whatever. It's like I watched the Let's Plays of 1, 2, and 3. It's like,
no way.
That's the way to do it.
You can't play the game nowadays.
The game trolls you from beginning to end. It's a miserable experience. It made me laugh throughout because I was like, I cannot believe it's making me do this. I cannot believe it's making me do this. Why are you making it's? The game just puts so many barriers to having fun that. At that final part that I streamed, the end, I was sitting there going, this part is cool. They have these characters, they're like, on this mission, they have these anime personalities. Yep. They had a girl in there for a second that had like a different costume, and she was like the villain revealed as.
I saw that.
And that's like the only cool part of the whole freaking game. The rest is kind of lame, honestly. It's funny, but it's like that's the only part where it's like, oh, it's cool.
It's actually worth it.
We got a team, and 2 had that. Shenmue 2 had that. Shenmue 1 had that to a level. But 3 waited to the end to kind of add it. I don't know. But
why would you do that?
I'm putting that game to bed. We'll never talk. That's my Destiny and Dead by Daylight that I won't talk about again. But
everybody has a Dead by Daylight.
But I think that is it for games.
Yeah,
right?
I haven't touched.
You haven't touched anything
this
except
month,
the
guys.
Dragon Ball.
I touched Dragon Ball. Like I'm in the midst of school right now.
Yeah.
But the good thing about that was I got to be a TV boy this month.
Yeah. I think we should wait because the last podcast, okay, we followed up with coronavirus. Yeah. Okay, that defeated us. We did make a bet last podcast as well. Did. We'll wait to the very end. We'll go through our stuff. How about that?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And we'll get to that.
Go for it.
It's not a big reveal, but we did make a bet.
I'm very excited to talk about it.
Handshake, and we'll get to that at the
agreement.
end. So first, let's just kind of go through the other stuff. Mick Millions. Have you heard about this?
No. Mick
Millions is a documentary on HBO. And the premise of it is that from 1994, is that when they started? Maybe 96? I think it was 94. No, I think it might have been earlier, 89. From like that time till 2001, 2002, all the winners of the McDonald's Monopoly game was rigged. It was controlled by an inner party.
Oh, get out. This sounds like a conspiracy theory.
No, they go through it. It was proven. Like, that's what happened. The FBI got involved.
It's on HBO?
Yes, it's on HBO. And the FBI people that are involved, the people that are involved.
I'm so interested in McDonald's stuff. So you're telling me this, and I'm like, are you serious?
The criminal ring, it is mind-blowing. It is laugh out loud funny.
Ronald
Some
McDonald.
of the people that are involved in this. It is crazy how they did this. So we're about 4 episodes in, and so they've been releasing them weekly. Me and my wife have been watching them. We are just enthralled every episode because it just keeps going deeper. And then we were watching last night because they were showing more stuff of here's how they did it. And I'm sitting there because I used to eat fast food every single day growing up and till a couple of years ago.
So did you play the Monopoly game?
Yeah, so that's what I was getting to was I was sitting there and my wife started laughing because I went, yeah, I remember going there extra to try to get the pieces. And we're seeing that this person rigged it. There was no way I was going to win, but as a kid I was oh, if I could just get this piece, I could win this money. Definitely recommend it. I don't want to spoil anything, but there are some freaking characters. It's interesting. Crime is involved. The FBI is involved. It gets absolutely bonkers.
Nice.
Absolutely a recommended documentary. The next one, and I'll let you go with one, is Better Call Saul is back. It is the final season. This is the spinoff show to Breaking Bad. And this show has been great all the seasons. And this first premiere episode. People
love this show.
The first premiere episode, it is just more Breaking Bad. It is more of that style. The cinematography is amazing. I'm invested in the character of Saul Goodman. You get to kind of see the origin of that guy, and it starts pretty far back before Breaking Bad, and it's a great time. It's I definitely recommend it for people that watch Breaking Bad. I think if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, you could watch it.
People have said that.
But I think Breaking Bad is also so extremely good. Why not just watch Breaking Bad first and then get the cherry on top?
I need to finish Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad got to the point. I think I'm in season 3. It got to the point where I felt so cringy. It was just this is going really downhill. Yeah. And I couldn't stand it.
It makes you feel it's a feel so bad it feels good kind of thing.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Man, I'm glad you're enjoying that.
Yeah. So Better Call Saul first. I've only seen the premiere of episode 5, but I love I love the show, and I love what they're doing with it, and all the stuff they're tying together. So this is the final season, and that'll be it.
All right, well, let's play a game. We're going to play games from a hat, all right? Let's see here. Scenes from a bar room. All right, ready, go.
Whose line is it?
Yeah, whose line is it anyways? I remember growing up as a kid.
I grew up
and watching the show and just being like, this is hysterical.
It is
and
very funny show.
Some of the jokes just go over my head because I was so young.
Yeah.
So I recently, once again, YouTube, man, it's like they know your mind.
Yeah.
I've been wanting some comedy in my life. Some like, not wholesome comedy, but just some like good old fashioned, like some knee slapping comedy.
Yeah.
And something popped up and was like, Colin on Whose Line Is It Anyway? So I was like, oh, I loved that show.
Yeah.
I watched the video.
Great show.
And I was like, I need this back in my life.
Yeah.
I went on Hulu. I went on Netflix. I went on I was like, I cannot find this.
Yeah.
Like, no one has it anywhere. I found out CW makes 2 versions of their streaming service. I don't know why.
Gosh.
So the
I didn't know they had a
CW...
streaming service.
Hey, that's what I said. So the CW has a CW app for all current shows.
Okay.
And then they have the CW Seed. And CW Seed is all of the CW shows that they own from the past.
Oh, okay.
So Everybody Hates Chris, what's the Smallville, all that stuff they have, all on there. And it's all free.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to pay for it.
So, Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Is all 19 seasons of it is on there.
Oh.
So I started watching from season 1 back in 1999.
Oh, wow.
And I've been watching through it. I'm on season 3 right now, and it doesn't get old. Like they for improv comedy,
they're great.
They are phenomenal what they do.
Yeah, really
and
good.
Drew Carey, man, he was in his prime right then and there. He was right there with them, losing it. And I didn't know they're still doing it today.
Are they?
They're in the UK. It's in the UK now. It's
okay.
Whose Line Is It Anyways? I forget who. I think someone said it was Dwayne Wade's wife or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
But they're still doing it. It's still Colin. It's still Wayne Brady. It's still Ryan Stills.
Wow.
There's all 3 of them are still together doing it today.
That's cool.
So Whose Line Is It Anyways?
Great show. If you haven't checked it out, the younger generation.
You're missing out. Like if you're a younger generation, look it up. Whose Line Is It Anyway? The comedy does not get old.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You don't need no fancy animations. You just need guys and some props, and you can make them.
Yeah.
You can make them laugh.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that.
Speaking of laughing, Star Wars. I'll start with my thoughts because I'm really intrigued to hear about what you think of The Leftovers. So we made the bet. I watch Mandalorian, and I had no interest in the show because I'm kind of Star Wars. I'm fatigued out.
Yeah, you kind of finished it.
But we made a bet. He said I would watch Leftovers because I bugged the crap out of my friends. Please watch The Leftovers. One of my favorite shows of all time. If he watched a little bit of The Leftovers, I'll watch The Mandalorian. And I finished the first season. I finished all 8 episodes. It's it's short, and it really. My thoughts on it. It was what I expected. It wasn't bad, and I honestly do like this show better than everything except maybe episode 8 of the newer stuff that's coming.
Okay.
I think it is second to that.
Okay.
Of my enjoyment because. It did have, it did kind of step outside of what was normal for, there's still a bounty hunter, like there's still whatever. You can't escape that for some reason. It's always a bounty hunter. Something involved with a bounty hunter. But even then, I will say too, I watched this with my wife, and my God, she loved Baby Yoda, and I loved Baby Yoda as well. She keeps sending me Baby Yoda little memes and all this other stuff, like she freaking, and I can
It's so adorable, man.
It is so freaking cute. It is unbelievably cute.
And that's puppetry? Like,
yeah, it is.
Still,
and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
It looks incredible. I'm glad they chose that. I think my favorite episode was the one where they had all the people, those like kind of like misfit people to break that guy out of jail.
Yes.
And that thing, and that big giant guy, the big devil guy.
Oh, yes. They got locked down in the ship.
Yeah.
Dude,
I think that was my
such a good
favorite
episode.
I think that was my favorite. But yeah, I had a great time. So Baby Yoda's skills and stuff.
Yeah, with a little
stuff.
force.
I had a great time.
We're pretty far past now. I feel like I can talk about. What'd you feel about the season finale? Like when they closed up, like at the end. How'd you feel about those last 2 episodes?
I liked them. They were pretty good.
I was really like the character development for Mando was what I really enjoyed the most because he didn't say jack squat.
Yeah.
Like he did not talk very much.
Yeah.
And to have so much, like, for them to tell their backstory, a guy who like he doesn't enjoy droids, he doesn't trust any droids. Him to experience that in the beginning, and then in the end, what the droid ended up doing for him was jumping in the lava and going up in flames. Didn't know the guy from Breaking Bad was going to be in it. I forget what his name is. What is his name? He popped out of the droid. What was his name? Oh, I don't remember it.
I don't remember.
He had the Darksaber. I stood up like I was on my feet like clapping.
Oh, Gus.
What's his? Okay, there we go. There we go.
Gus. I was trying to think. I was like, who is it?
Yeah, when he stood up, at the end when he showed up, I was like, oh yes. I was like, this is.
He's a great villain.
This is nice. This is getting somewhere. So I'm excited for season 2. I am. I think Mandalorian is really, really awesome. I think honestly, I put it as one of the better Star Wars contents to come out.
Yeah.
Next to Rogue One.
I had a great time.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I'm really glad you watched it. Now you can take a break.
Now I can take a break.
Rest easy, child. Like rest easy. I think you deserve it.
This is the way.
This is the way.
We also, me and my wife keep saying to each other, I have spoken. If we have, and I have spoken.
I've spoken.
I've spoken.
Dude, I cried.
With what?
When?
Oh yeah.
I legitimately
alerts.
Shed some tears.
Yeah.
I was really upset. But you know what? He had some leftovers.
Yeah, he had some leftovers.
And I had some leftovers.
Yeah. So you watched how many episodes?
I am 5 episodes
and
in.
there's 7 or 8 in
8 in the first season.
Okay. So you're close. Yeah, you're over halfway.
I'm going to take my glasses off for this one.
God.
We got to talk through some stuff.
So here's how I felt with you going in. At first, I was like, Jacob's going to hate this. He doesn't like TV. He has a certain style of TV shows and games he likes. And I was like, he's not going to like Leftovers. But then he was like, I loved Lost.
Yes.
I really like Lost. And this show is from the same writer of Lost. It has the same, what is that? And like asking and giving you a lot of questions, but not a lot of answers. Like maybe he'll fall back in love with it. I gave it a 50. Then I went to 50-50 chance. So let's hear where you're at with Leftovers.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna try to give you a standpoint where I was at last night because if you guys again busy month, I sat down and I did it the best way you could. I watched it all in one big binge.
Okay.
I didn't watch spurts for me to think about it, but now I watched a binge of 5 episodes. All I thought about today was I need to go home and watch some more Leftovers.
Oh, wow. So you're having a good time.
I'm having an okay time.
But you sound like you want to watch more.
I want to watch more because you're 100% right. I have some freaking questions I want answers to. I've drawn some conclusions up already.
Yeah.
There's this one guy named Wayne who he is just an odd individual, and people like seem to just gravitate around him.
Yes, the magic hug.
Yes,
Wayne.
like it's so weird.
So Leftovers, for those that don't know, I've talked about it 8 trillion times, but it's a show about a portion of the population.
2% of the population.
How many percent?
2%.
2% of the population. Gone. They just disappeared. Rapture, whatever. Out of people don't know what happened. They some people go into religious thing of like maybe they got raptured out, or
you're
maybe
3 years later now.
But then they start showing I don't know how deep you are, but you know what I mean. The people start having theories about what is happening. Why did people?
I'll catch you guys up. So I watched it. You find out that 3 years later, 2% of the population, the world's trying to cope with it.
Yeah.
Some people are coping with it because there's like a weird kind of cult. That doesn't talk and all they do is smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, the guilty remnant.
That's what they call it. The GR. I'm used to calling them the GR.
Yeah.
The other people are just trying to live their lives and they're very bitter. Yeah. You have one guy who's trying to turn people back to God by using people's disappearance. It's really, really like I won't say an allegory. I think is the right word. It's kind of weird. In a sense of there's one more group of people. You have the Wayne. I don't know if the Wayne people really is that a cult. I think it's a kind of a cult. I can't really.
It's just these groups, and this is what I wish Travis got, and I think Jacob's got it. Coping is exactly right.
Yes,
you notice that. I think Travis got lost on I hate these characters and they're miserable and whatever, and it's nobody can face the fact that these people.
It is freaking grim.
Yeah,
it is.
It is very grim.
It is extremely grim.
It explores what if this freaking happened. It isn't cartoony. It doesn't get there are very crying, laughing parts that are coming up.
Yes.
You'll still laugh.
There's still some parts where I'm like, I get a chuckle out of it.
Yeah. But the show is great throughout of, if this actually happened, how would the world react? And it really digs into deep of humanity of we hide, we put a mask on, and we kind of like fight through things, and we kind of like don't deal with reality, and that's where the guilty remnant comes up. Like, face this. You want to like shut up and face it, kind of thing.
See, I don't,
and I love that kind of weird culture they've created, like in the world that's splintered out.
It's really odd. It's really odd because it does make you feel that way. Because when the protests happened, they were where they did the big carnival parade, and they showed up and they said, "Don't waste your breath." I sat there, I was like, "Frick you!
Yeah.
Like, who do you think you are?"
Yeah.
And then, like, as you continue to watch it, you're like, man, everyone's just kind of like, just trying to move on.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I'm all about that. I'm like, dude, just move on. Like, it happened. Like, what can you do?
Yeah.
But
there's
these
elements
guys,
of Lost. Yeah, Lost's big theme was move on.
Mm-hmm.
But then these people are saying, like, you haven't moved on at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're fighting this and replacing with other stuff and weird stuff. And
so I'll start with, like, I'll pick apart some characters real quick because I'm only 5 episodes in. I am going to for sure finish season 1. I probably won't finish it. I'm going to watch probably 2 episodes tonight when I get home.
Yeah.
But I'll probably have finished by the end of the weekend. I'm pretty determined.
I love that you're saying that because I think once you finish season 1, I don't know if you're going to want to stop, but we'll see.
Okay, we'll see. I don't know. It's very, first and foremost, let me say this, it's very grim. I cannot put that past. I did not enjoy Joker. Like, Joker's a great movie. But Joker's way grimmer and way darker than this.
And that was another thing. I didn't know if you'd enjoy this type of show or whatever.
And I did not enjoy Joker. I left there depressed. So I watched this, and it makes me depressed because, like, I see so many people dealing with, I hate when I see people who are hurting.
Yeah.
I hate when I see people who are broken.
Yeah.
And this is a society that's broken. You have a dad who has extreme depression. I mean, I wouldn't say extreme depression, but he's pretty depressed because he was cheating on his wife. He was doing all this stuff, and he has a daughter to support and a son to support.
Yeah.
Then you find out that his wife went and joined the GR.
Yeah.
And it's like, boom.
Yeah.
Like, mind-blowing. The part that ticked me off the most, like, this is last night. This is how I ended my night. I want to paint this picture for you. Lori, she was in the house, and she was having Meg talk for her. And he was sitting there. He's like, "Shut up!" Shut up! And it's like, "You say it." And then the daughter walked in. I forget what's her name. Liz? Is it Liz? No.
Lindsay.
Maybe it's Lindsay. She's black hair. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not great with names. It is what it is. Frick it.
I forget some of the names.
But she walked in. She picked up the box and she handed the mom the box. She's like, "This is for you." And then walked upstairs.
Yeah.
Like nothing was wrong.
Yeah.
And she opened it and there was a lighter and it said, "Remember me."
Yeah.
And I sat there and I was like, that. That's so touching. I was like, that's so awesome. And then they're walking, and that Meg lady's like, "You can keep it. I won't tell anyone." And she walks past, and she throws it in the sewer.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Frick you! Like, you're a piece of dirt." Like,
it's really these characters that, because you can see her character development of like, frick. Like, I'm part of this, but you see the struggle of like, well, I love my family, and you're still tied to your daughter. Mm-hmm. But then it's like her saying that even of like, I won't tell anybody. It's like, no, I'm all in on this. You know what I mean? Like, it's that tug of war.
But at the end of the episode, and this is where I was like, she went back and she tried grabbing it. And I think I remember, I don't think they showed her grabbing it, but they showed her in the, like, like trying to grab it.
That is a great moment of the show.
And I was like, okay, there's actually hope here. There's some elements that draw me back. And that's why I was texting Kenny last night. Because Kenny's watched it.
Yeah, Kenny watched
it
recently.
There were some things that happened I wasn't okay with. And I was texting Kenny and we were talking about it. And I was like, I'm not in love with this yet, but I'm not against it.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it keeps me wanting to come back.
Yeah.
And
it has that element of Lost of like, what's going on? Like, what the frick was that? Like, they just have stuff out of left field, like supernatural level stuff. Of like,
I'm sitting here right now and I have a couple of like suspicions. I want to figure out this Wayne individual. Like, this Wayne dude's acting like he stinking. And I think he impregnated that girl, Christy, and now Tommy is Karen.
I feel like rewatching this with my wife. We're wanting to anyways, but like watching it maybe alongside you now. Maybe we'll talk more on the podcast.
Yeah, I would go for it. I wouldn't mind talking through.
There's stuff that is still fresh in my mind, and other stuff it's like I've only seen it one time.
To be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised Travis isn't in on it as much as I thought he would be.
I thought so too. I really thought this was. I think if he would stuck with it, this is a show for him. It really is. If he would just get past.
I don't know. I was honestly because I watched it. I was like, Travis really appreciates this kind of stuff way more than I do.
I think so too. But
And that's why I was kind of upset he wasn't here, because I was going to talk to him about the first 2 episodes and see what went wrong with him.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel that way. Yeah. I was kind of into it after the first episode.
Hey, next podcast, maybe we'll get... Now, it's us against Travis.
Yeah, maybe probably by... I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to watch season 2. I don't know yet.
I think you will.
I'm for sure finishing season 1.
I think you will.
We'll see. So every time we come back to the next podcast, I'll probably will be through season 2, knowing me. We'll try to kind of wrap ourselves around this a little bit more.
And season 2 is only 10, and season 3 is only 8.
I saw they're very short. They're very, very short. I laughed when I put the first episode on. I saw it was an hour and like 15 minutes, and I was like, "What the heck?" I'm watching mini movies. I was like, "I don't watch movies."
I don't think the other ones are that long.
No, they weren't. They're 45 minutes, 50 minutes. No big deal. I just want to figure out Wayne. That dude. When they brought the mayor over and he went upstairs and he walked down. I feel great, go! Wayne did it again. Yeah. Like, what's up? And then the freaking FBI shows up and just kills everything that moves in there. Oh,
yeah. There's deeper stuff on that show that I can't wait for you to dig into.
Yeah, I'm gonna for sure get through season 1.
Awesome.
I'm excited. I am glad I have started The Leftovers.
Take a picture of that, Trav.
Yeah, there we go, Travis. I'm glad I've started The Leftovers. Speaking of mini movies, I've watched some movies.
You usually are a movie or TV show guy, and oh my gosh, you've just...
Dude,
that's new year, new you. New decade,
you know what's crazy? Like, when you're doing schoolwork, you know what you do? You put a movie on, and then you find yourself watching movies before doing the schoolwork. It's called procrastination, ladies and gentlemen. I have watched a lot of Disney. Yeah. A lot of Disney. I'll throw a couple out there. You can throw a couple of yours out there. We can talk through it. Big Hero 6. Pixar mainly is where I've been at. Man, what a...
Have you seen that one before?
Yeah, I've seen it before.
You've seen these before?
I've seen these before. I'm rewatching them again. Because again, I'm going to throw something on in the background.
Yeah.
But this was one, like I had my laptop. I was sitting in my living room. I was doing... And I started watching. I was like... I shut my laptop.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah, sit down and actually give it attention.
And man, what a great show. You have
you
have Hero who's trying to, figure out what happened with his brother, trying to get his creation back, and it has a nice, really good charm to it. It's honestly kind of sad, like because you see his boy, he's coping with like a lot of anger and depression. He just lost his brother. And then Baymax.
Baymax.
I love Baymax. I didn't realize they made a comic series off of it too. Like it was very, very popular. But man, Pixar does like they're what they do is like really, really impressive.
Yeah, Big Hero 6 is cool.
So along with that, I watched Toy Story 2 and 3 again.
Yeah. I saw you ask on Instagram what people's favorites were.
Yeah, I was.
And what's your favorite?
My absolute favorite Toy Story is probably Toy Story 3.
Okay.
I love Toy Story 3.
I would say Toy Story 3 is probably the best. Yes. Honestly. I think 1 for me, because it's so ingrained in my childhood, I have nostalgia chained with that. But 3 is probably the best.
So I watched 1 with a bunch of middle schoolers about a couple months ago.
And they probably were like, this sucks.
They really like, man, this sucks. Yeah. They're like, the animation's terrible. And I'm like, dude shut up. You guys don't know.
It definitely has age. It looks
but then I watched it. I was
like,
like
a Unity project.
This is bad. Like, this isn't that good. Stinking graphics, man. I can't play Uncharted because of it.
Yeah, exactly. Can't watch Toy Story on it.
So then I watched 2, and 2 was awesome because it introduced like a whole new element. Like Woody got to kind of get away from the crew.
Yeah.
I love movies that do a great job with splitting storylines.
Yeah, somebody goes over here and somebody goes over
and 2 did a great job with that because 2 was like, we have the crew trying to get Woody back, and you have Woody with Proctor and with what's her name, the girl cowgirl.
And Bessie. I don't know.
Yeah,
sounds like Bessie.
Whatever. And then his connection with them growing. It was really good. It still kind of looks like 1 a little bit.
I can't remember a lot of 2, but I don't.
I love 2.
I remember seeing it as a kid liking it.
2 starts off in the coolest way possible because it starts off like a video game, and you don't even realize it. It starts out with Buzz Lightyear trying to get in the Zurg's base.
Zurg was
and it ends up with him getting shot and killed, and find out it was Rex playing the Super Nintendo.
Okay,
and you're like, like bravo, good for you. But then I went back and I watched 3. And man, 3 had a part where
3 puts a bow and settles it. So that's why, and I felt the same with other like Uncharted 4. I felt this way. Last of Us 2. It's like, do we need another one? I really felt that about Toy Story 4, and I still haven't seen Toy Story 4. But man, like they tie the bow perfectly
Yep.
on it. Just seals the
You're
deal.
100% right. Because in the moment,
it's so perfect. I was in like tears coming down my eyes when I like out of my eyes.
Well, because it's so like you see Andy, you legitimately thought they wrapped it up. That was the thing. Like you're like, Andy gave his toys away. Everything else happened. Bonnie moves on.
Toy Story spoilers, by the way.
Oh, if you haven't seen it, frick you, your fault. But the best part was like, the toys experience what life was like.
Toy Story 3 came out 9 years ago or 10.
It came out a while ago.
It was 2011, I think.
Yeah, dude, it came out a while ago. It's a long time ago.
Almost a decade since Toy Story 3.
But when Toy Story 3 came out, I remember watching it and I was like, man, these toys are really... I don't feel bad for the toys or inanimate objects, but I was like, they're experiencing what life's like without a good owner.
Yeah.
They got thrown out into the thing, and these kids are like biting on them. And they're trying to escape from what seems like hell, and they're fighting left and right for that.
You're talking about Toy Story 4 now?
3.
Okay.
Yeah, this is 3.
Yeah, 3.
And then you're right. At the end, I remember they were all sliding down the trash compactor, and I sat there. And I was like, "This is an okay ending." I was like, I'm sad, but this is such an opposite Disney ending, and they did a great job making you believe this was really it.
Yeah.
Because I sat there, and I was like, "This is how they're going to end it."
A funny story with that. Somebody online, there's a video you can look up online called Toy Story 3, like, edited for my parents or something, or somebody, a family member, and somebody took the movie and edited it in their editing program and put the credits after it, and they made it look like they died in that trash compactor and put the credits, and they, like, played the movie for the first time for their parents or something, and it got to that and the credits roll, and the parents are sitting there, and it's silence, and you hear... They died? But you gotta look this up. Check it out. It is such a funny...
Oh, I gotta look this up.
They edit it to make it look like that's where it ended.
Oh, that's genius. But that's how I felt. I legitimately felt that way.
But man, the actual ending, not the fake ending, was so heartfelt.
Oh my gosh.
I was tearing up. I saw it at the drive-in. Mm-hmm. Tearing up like, oh my gosh, because I was a kid when this first came out. So I'm Andy's age. Is Andy? Guys. And then... he's giving his toys away. He's got to grow up, and it's like, frick. Like, that destroyed me. So
everybody's like, absolutely here you are.
Wrecked me. So,
you haven't seen 4?
No.
Stay away.
I just didn't care. I didn't feel like it was needed. It didn't give me a reason to see it, and it's like, I felt so completed by 3. I don't want to
You described it perfectly, because you said that it's like they put the bow. 4 is like, who needs bows? And rips it off and just grabs it from the inside.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like we needed it, and it doesn't feel like it told a story that was worth telling.
Nope, I completely agree with you. It's nice because they bring back a character that like people were kind of like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
But even then, it's like I didn't really think about her. I didn't think about Bo Beep. I was like, when I was watching 3,
we didn't need a Bo Peep.
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't thinking about Bo Beep. Like she was not in my thoughts.
So if you want some Bo Peep continuation, you get that.
Yeah, go watch.
That's
4.
the Better Call Saul of the Toy Story series.
Let's go about other things you've been watching. What's some stuff you've been up to?
I saw a couple things. So I am also bummed because Travis is not here because I would talk about this, but Midsummer.
I saw that on your list.
Yeah. So Midsummer is from the same director who did the freaking, oh my gosh, Hereditary, which is one of the scariest films I've ever seen. It was so scary that like Travis, we had a big group over of friends watching it, and Travis and all these other guys like, yeah, just watch. I watch scary movies all the time. And I looked over at one point of the movie, and Travis had his hands over like half of his eyes, and I was like, "If that guy is covering his eyes," and I hold the pillow up the whole time.
He does.
I'm a wimp.
This is Zach the whole time.
You've seen Hangouts where all 3 of us and my wife had to come in and play.
Were we doing PT?
PT. And
oh
me, you, and Kenny had had a pillow up.
Frick
and my wife
that
had to come in and play.
Dude.
But
that was fun.
But yeah, it was a fun hangout. But so Midsummer, very funny. Travis said most of the movie takes place in daylight, which it did, but they go to nighttime a lot, and that's when scary stuff starts happening. And I'm sitting there,
starts going down,
covering up my eyes. This movie cemented for me that I don't need to see any more horror films from this director because I feel it made me feel miserable. It made me feel sick to my stomach. There is gore in here to a level that's not like gore in like a mobster movie. It's gore of like... Have you heard my thoughts on the Tomb Raider remake? The first Tomb Raider game in that remake series?
Yeah.
Where they killed Laura. You might fall.
Yeah.
But they don't cut. Like,
No.
they fall down, and you get to see her, like, just spikes and blood going everywhere, and you're like, okay, cut.
Yeah.
Whereas in other games, like, it starts, like, in another whatever, and then, like, it cuts to black, and you get the picture, and it's like, ugh. Imagine whoever made that decision made a movie. They, without spoiling stuff, they, like, somebody's head gets kind of hammered in, but they don't cut. And you get to see it, and I'm like watching it going, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. And I just felt sick from beginning to end of that movie. To the point where I'm like, I gave the movie actually a 4 out of 5. The cinematography and some of the themes in this movie are about like multiculturalism, and cultures were becoming like a global like economy and people and stuff. How do you deal with that and different cultures and stuff? And I thought that was interesting. And then in it, like, this girl, like, they're all taking, like, these drugs and this mixture of stuff, and it's like a cult out in this, like, kind of wilderness kind of place. But she kind of starts to be connected to everybody. Like, and some of the visuals are amazing with this. It is just awesome because, like, you can kind of see, like, you'll be watching stuff, and, like, a tree will just kind of be, like, you know how they do, like, if you look drunk in a GTA game or something, it'll just very subtly move stuff in the background and stuff that they do. Oh, perfect. Like that by the end of the movie kind of builds to a crescendo, and it's awesome. All that being said, could have done without seeing it. Like it just made me feel so sick to my stomach. Is like I don't like that feeling. I don't really like that stuff. I've never been someone that's liked all that dark.
I'm not into that either.
It's not for me. It's not for me at all.
Was it like worse than Joker?
Yes.
Oh,
no! Absolutely worse than Joker.
Really?
Yes.
Dude, Joker was bad.
Joker probably could have cleansed my palate after this.
Oh gosh, that's awful.
Because it just didn't know when to cut. It was just kind of a
Joker's how I judge things now, basically.
Yeah, this movie just didn't know when to cut, and it just made me feel gross and ugh. But again, 4 out of 5.
Good job.
But
I guess.
not a movie for me.
It made you feel a certain way.
Yeah, I watched Jojo Rabbit. My dad went on and on and on about, like, you gotta see Jojo Rabbit, you gotta see Jojo Rabbit.
I've never heard of this.
This is the movie. So it kind of looked like a comedy, slapstick kind of comedy thing. So have you seen anything on this?
No.
So it takes place during World War II in Nazi Germany, and, like, Hitler's in it, and there is, like, this little kid who they call Jojo Rabbit or whatever. He's, like, the main character. And it is him in, like, Nazi Germany dealing with, like, them, like, the Nazis, like, legit, like, kind of serious tone things, but they do it in a light-humored way and, like, poke fun at it.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, I don't know about this. This seems like a kind of a scary movie or kind of a goofy out there kind of thing. I freaking loved it.
Oh.
Dad
knows best.
I freaking loved it. I didn't expect this to gel with me, but me and my wife there's parts in there where you're like, you're heartfelt. There's like heartfelt moments.
Good comedy.
There's funny, very funny
Who directed
moments.
this?
I'm not sure, but I think I had heard that this guy's other movies are kind of similar in this way, like kind of similar movies. But yeah, Jojo Rabbit, definitely check it out. I definitely recommend it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It was very heartfelt. It was serious at times and told a great story, and I loved it. It was awesome.
Man, talk about, like, that's actually kind of impressive. I watched kind of like a lighter-hearted kind of movie.
Yeah.
I watched Up.
Yeah.
I was actually, if you guys don't know this, for Halloween a couple years ago. Was it bad? It's been a couple years.
Yeah.
I think it's been a couple.
He won our costume contest.
I was Russell from Up, and it was awesome. It was really cool. I loved Up. I loved it. It's a great movie. Watched it as a kid. But then I went back and I watched it again. It's always something. As you get older and you rewatch a movie from your past, you get things differently.
Yeah.
Like,
as an adult, you see stuff differently. Whereas as a kid, you're like, yeah, frick the adults in the movie. And as an adult, you're like, no, kid, go to bed. Or
like the first 15 minutes of that movie could be a short in itself and be just as moving.
It was really good. Really well done.
You see him and Ellie, and you see them growing up, and the
so
score. I was talking to one of my friends about the score, and I was telling her, I was like, look, like, I didn't realize how moving it was. Because it starts out like, na, 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 and they're like cleaning up the house and they're repairing it. And then like, as they get older, like it slowly starts slowing down.
Yeah.
And you don't pick up on that.
It's like Breath of the Wild when they did that one area in Breath of the Wild. Yeah,
exactly. But like, it was because it started out really fast because life happens fast, right? Life goes on really quick. Yeah. And as you get older, you start to realize like, I'm not moving as quick as I was with life anymore. Yeah. And it starts slowing down, and then like she gets sick, and then the piano comes in and it just starts playing slower, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Listening to Up, awesome.
So then they kick out, and then you get this grumpy old man, and you get the comedy, you get the story behind this guy just trying to move on with his life, and you just he learns that, you know what, you can move on, you can still be at the relevant time. Great movie. You see things differently, and you see things like emotionally, where in the sense of like, you just relate to it. Yeah, I don't know. You've seen it, right? Like,
yeah. I've only seen it once. I need to go back and see it again. But
it's a rewatchable movie to me. It's up there, like WALL-E. It goes WALL-E and then Up, like right next to each other. WALL-E's my all-time favorite, like Pixar movie. Yeah, I think you can't touch WALL-E.
WALL-E's my favorite, I think, as well.
I love WALL-E. Up is right there by it. It's the concept is wacky, but the meaning behind it and the characters in there, like, they're unforgettable. Like Russell's amazing. Yeah. Dude, Russell, I would never forget. They were walking in the forest, and he was like, "Where's your dad?" He's like, "Well, I don't." He keeps saying he's going to show up, but he doesn't. And you're like, "Oh man, like that sucks." Yeah. And as a kid, again, you don't pick up on that crap. Yeah. But as an adult, you're like, "This kid's out here trying to get his like badge, and he's trying to do this and that." Man, it's a good movie, man. It's a good heartfelt movie. I really, really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. The next, so this was a funny situation. 1917. So me and my wife had a Valentine's Day date planned, and we said, let's, 1917. Travis said to go see it or whatever. I wanted to go see it. Like, I heard some great stuff on it. People online. Let's see 1917. Mm-hmm. Well, my wife looks up about a week and a half out or something. I don't know when it was, but she looked up. She said, I see the last showing is on the 13th. Well, we were going out on the 14th for this. That's when we had time. Like, it was when we were doing our date. And I was like, so it's not in theaters anymore? She's like, I don't see any other dates anywhere near where we're staying or whatever overnight and stuff. And I was like, okay. Well, Sonic the Hedgehog comes out on Valentine's Day. So I was like, wow, instead of 1917, we get to watch Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, luckily she did check closer to it, and 1917, they didn't have showings. You know how
they didn't have times ready.
They didn't have times quite ready yet. So we did get to see 1917. Yeah, 1917 live, and that movie was awesome. I ended up giving that a 4 out of 5. The cinematography was amazing. Travis was right. As a cinematographer, or like as a filmmaker myself, there's parts in here where you're like, oh my gosh, like they're going from here and they're going from like a burned out building to like down below, and they change all the lighting and the cut, like how it's supposed to be no cuts, and you come over from over here and it's all hit, like they hide it very well. They're not trying to trick you, but it just makes you feel like an open world video game.
Yeah, no, completely makes sense.
What people have explained it, that's spot on. Yeah, there is like an awesome scene in this film. I don't want to spoil it because it's so more newer and stuff, but it really made it feel like war is hell, to a point of like it turns into like Dark Souls levels of like atmosphere and like worry and like, oh god, like
those movies have always interested me. Like,
but ending is awesome, like leading up to the ending, and just I freaking loved 1917. Definitely recommended.
Man, I tell you what, you really dodged the bullet there.
Yeah, it was either Sonic the Hedgehog, but guess what? I still ended up seeing Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh. So I guess you wanted to take a bullet.
Yeah. If I had to recommend Sonic the Hedgehog or 1917, I would say watch 1917 twice.
Ouch.
Sonic the Hedgehog, I like the redesign. I'm going to say what I like first.
Okay.
There's more of what I don't like. The redesign was good. There was one part that had me chuckling in the whole movie. That's it.
Just a chuckle?
I've heard other people complain about this. Sonic the Hedgehog always seemed like, when I was growing up and Sonic Adventure Days and whatever, was like, hey, we got to go fast. He was kind of like this cool dude. He's
like
kind
a
of
slick back guy.
He's kind of a slick guy. And he's like,
hey, bro, let's
come
go
on,
on.
Tails, let's take on Eggman.
Go get the cast.
In this movie, he won't shut the heck up. He keeps talking. I don't think he stops the whole movie. And it's just kind of wears on you after a while. There is such a little story to this as possible. Jim Carrey is cool in it to see him
as
whatever it is. Yeah, whatever. To see him in it. But I got very little enjoyment out of this film. But
that's hysterical.
I believe this did well, so we'll see more.
Some people said that this has performed the best video game movie.
I don't know where that.
Forever.
I think what happens in another video game movie, and we'll say the same thing. The bar is so low that perhaps Sonic the Hedgehog is one of the better ones. I still think it was bad. I don't think it was a good movie. It just didn't have a plot that I cared about, and it's just so simplistic. At the same time, it's for kids. Like I'm reviewing a kid's movie.
It's for kids.
But what did we just talk about? Pixar. And you can come there as an adult and enjoy it, and you come in there as a kid. There's a way to do it. Mm-hmm. You can still make stuff that's not total.
Imagine if they didn't redesign Sonic.
Oh God, yeah, that was the only good thing about it. So, yeah, so maybe kids will enjoy it. Maybe this is more for kids.
Who'd you see this with?
Kenny.
What'd he think?
Kenny and Travis, but
because Kenny's a huge Sonic fan.
Or no, Kenny and Devin. But I think they enjoyed it. I think they had an okay time. They were like, it's not too bad, or whatever. That was their defense of it.
And you're like, nope, hot trash.
Yeah, but I would not recommend the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I would recommend any of the other movies we're talking about tonight, probably.
Honestly, that sounds about right. It really does.
But you watched something we were.
So we actually talked about Mick Millions. I watched Founder.
Yeah, another McDonald's. We're into McDonald's.
We're really
McDonald's cast.
I don't, but I am into that. Like Super Size Me interested me, even though it's really disgusting. Like McDonald's, the concept of McDonald's is so amazing. There needs to be
a list of McDonald's movies.
There was a lot of them.
Start with Super Size Me, Founder, McMillions, TV show.
Founder is cool because it's like a documentary, but it isn't a documentary, which is kind of cool. I would not say it tells the history of McDonald's. Yeah. In a sense, you start out with Ray Kroc, and all Ray Kroc's trying to do is sell these stinking Hamilton Beach milkshake makers. He's going to all these diners and like, hey, I got this triple blender, triple supreme. Like, I'm going to make 5 milkshakes in half the time. And they're like, nah, get out of here, buddy. We don't want anything like that. So a salesperson who's down on his luck, and he goes, the way they start out is so great. He goes to these diners, and he waits forever for his food.
Yeah.
But he's ordering like these, I'm getting the chicken dinner with like a side of mashed potatoes, and I'm like, well, no wonder you're going to wait for 45 minutes. So he's waiting forever, and he's sitting in his car, and then he ends up going into, I think it's Iowa. Was it Iowa? I forget where it's at.
I forget where it was.
But he goes to McDonald's, and he pulls up, and he walks in and walks out, and he's like, this is the best tasting food I've ever had.
Yeah.
And it shows his character starts showing like, we need to take this and give it to the world. It's like he experienced something, he has to tell the whole world about it. And you show the owners who were like, we're not interested.
Yeah.
And that's where you start to get sad.
Yeah.
Because you saw like
these guys just had this simple thing, and it's like, we just want to, because they're very particular about their brand or like about the thing. It's like, we do this very well. Mm-hmm. We want to ensure that the quality
is great.
Is the same at the other things,
and Ray, being the salesperson he is, convinces him. Well, let me
more
just,
sales minded.
Yeah. He's like, let me just open up my store, and I promise you the quality will be the same. So he opens up another store, and he cares a lot about it. He is all about the quality.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, this actually will go well. And he does meetings with the 2 original owners, and then some more people get involved, and salesperson Ray just can't get out of his own way.
Yeah.
And you see the beginning of McDonald's. And you see, like, what's really sad in the end was him basically just saying, we bought you out. Like, he finds a loophole in their contract and essentially makes it to where McDonald's becomes real estate.
Yeah.
And it's not just the name, but it's just the real estate of McDonald's.
Yeah, that's how they got through it,
And it's like, man, what a dirtbag.
Yeah, he was really dirty for that.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, like, McDonald's is still... I still go to McDonald's. I go to McDonald's every morning for a McMuffin and orange juice. Like, that's what I get every morning. And I'm sitting there like, this makes me not want to eat McDonald's. Like, I feel terrible.
I had McDonald's this week.
Yeah, but it's a really good movie. They do a great job making you kind of sympathize in it.
Yeah.
It's also kind of impressive because they said the way they were running the McDonald's was very in line with the way they were trying to vision when they first opened McDonald's, what they were trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
They said what's his name? I forget who played him. The dude from Parks and Rec played him.
Ray Kroc?
Not Ray Kroc. The dude who was super organized. He was all about the X's and O's.
Oh, I can't remember.
He kept perfecting. It's so hard to remember. I'm terrible.
I just remember Keaton.
If Travis was here, he would name every single one of these directors and actors off the top of his head. I'm terrible when it comes to that. But anyways, it was so funny because they were running the hamburger drills outside. And it was no, if you put the pickles here and you put the mustard here. The movie
dips into corniness, but it's so fun.
But I love it. It's so funny because you're they may have actually did that.
Yeah.
So yeah, good movie, great founder. I highly recommend it. Really, really good time.
Watch that. That's the prequel to Mick Millions.
It really is.
Watch that. It really goes wrong.
Hey, that's when you want to see how it goes wrong, and then you want to see how it goes worse.
Yeah.
These
poor guys were just I just want to make something, and then Mick Millions get made. Yeah, you're gonna have a freaking.
And then watch Super Size Me right after that.
Yeah. So you'll never go again.
Yeah, you really get a bad taste of McDonald's.
And then the last thing I watched, ending on a kind of crazy note, Dumb. Movie Dumb, the story of Big Brother magazine.
I saw this and I was like, I don't know what this is at all.
This is a documentary put out from Hulu. And it's about, and I didn't even know about this magazine, but you actually know everybody that came from it and the culture it created. Big Brother magazine was a magazine back in the early 90s that was it was kind of like punk rock skateboarding magazine. Okay. So there was Thrasher and there was Strange World.
Yeah, I know all about those.
And those were here's skating, here's whatever. Big Brother was a lot of crude, vulgar humor and pictures and partying and goofiness and crazy articles and some skateboarding. They all skateboarded.
So Bam Margera and Tony
So what happened? So the documentary goes into they just made this magazine and they just did whatever they wanted, and they kind of free reign. They were saying the F word in the magazine. They were putting all this out, but then it starts to get them in trouble. It's a skateboarding magazine that says Big Brother Skateboarding Magazine or whatever on the front, and these kids are picking it up off the rack, and there's legitimate nudity and porn in these magazines, crude imagery and girls naked at the parties and stuff, terrible stuff that kids shouldn't whatever. But it's a skateboarding magazine. But it's a skateboarding magazine, and it was this punk rock alt indie kind of thing. So what happens is they Jonah, what's the guy's name? Jonah, whatever, the actor.
Oh, Jonah Hill?
Jonah Hill is in this.
Really?
He was inspired by this and stuff. Because there's humorous stuff in here. He was in the skateboarding when he was growing up. All these people are in it and whatever. And it's Tony Hawk talks about this was what I read or whatever. And it's so crude. It's so vulgar, but it's so funny. And people just have these magazines or whatever. And he creates a culture. It's so punk rock and skating. It's so just F the man, and we don't need ads, and it's making fun of Trans World, making fun of all this stuff, but the writers kind of become their own personalities to a point where they're finally let's kind of they did one tour where they wrote about it. They wrote a whole magazine about they went on a Midwest tour, and they went and did this crazy stuff, and they filmed all of it, but they wrote about it, and they were eventually we're going to put out a video, a skate video.
Yeah.
So they did. They put out their first one, which was called Dumb. I think it was the first one or something.
That's funny.
And it is a lot of just craziness and vulgarness or whatever, and then it's some skateboarding.
So is it Tony Hawk's Underground 2?
No, that it is so vulgar and explicit and stuff. So, but what happens is that inspires a culture in the skating world. And who comes up and they start talking about that's a fan of it is Steve-O. Steve-O's I worshipped these writers in this magazine or whatever else, and I wanted to go crazy, and I wanted to go bigger than what they were doing. And Johnny Knoxville's I gotta push the boundaries and the envelope, and that's where eventually all these people get together and they make Jackass. Because they get kind of a team of these people doing goofy things that are not even skateboarding related. They're just making these goofy videos on their own.
And sometimes there's a skateboard in it.
Yeah, and they're wait, we can make a show out of this, and that's how Jackass comes and just tears everything up back in the day. But this goes not the stuff they were doing. So some of the art, they were like, they even had some of the writers in it. And they just start writing crazy articles like how to do heroin and how to like, it is so explicit and so out there just because it's so punk rock and so like against the establishment. But there's an article, it gets so like, why did you go that far? There's an article, and it's funny what they did in response to, but it was like, why did you ever put it in a magazine? And they even said that, but Transworld and Thrasher all had these like how to do a 360 flip, how to do a kick flip. So they had an article and there's a whole page that said how to kill yourself, and it's like a step-by-step like guide, and that gets them in trouble with like the news. And then the writers, the people that originally did it, said, I don't know why we did that. Like, you know what I mean? Like as you grow and you have 2020, like look in the back, you read it, look in the rearview mirror, and it's like, why did we do that as kids? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as we were
but younger, they were kids. That's the sad part. Like they were kids.
But they were old enough. They were in their 20s, but like still. But
20-year-old Jacob's way different than 24-year-old Jacob.
But I think it was a different culture back then too. It was trying to be edgy and you're trying to do that and push the envelope. But all that we said, Johnny Knoxville, it gets to a point in the documentary, and I was like, I couldn't even look at the freaking screen. Because they did an article, and then they filmed it too to put out in the video later. They were going to do like self-defense, Johnny Knoxville's self-defense, and this was before Jackass. They're like getting kind of the building blocks to Jackass. Yeah. But he wanted to impress them, and he said, I had this idea, and they're like, he wrote for them, they wrote funny articles, they were like, you can come in and do this, and we'll film you and do an article on it. And they said, I'm going to get tased, I'm going to get like pepper spray in me, all this other stuff. But the last thing was, he was going to put on a bulletproof vest and shoot himself. So they have all of that leading up to it. It was like, leading up to that, everyone got nervous, and everybody's like, let's turn around, like, let's not do this. They were trying to find a secluded, like, kind of out in the desert kind of place to do this.
Oh, gosh, dude.
So when they're going up, oh, my gosh, you can just, like, my palms are sweaty watching this, because they're like, we don't know how this is going to go. Some of us is like, you don't need to be doing this, man, like, because I don't know how this is going to be. Oh, that was another thing.
This is Johnny Knoxville?
Johnny Knoxville is so down on his luck. They don't have money. They, like, barely have any money. Johnny Knoxville's, like, doesn't, in between jobs, he's, like, poor. And he showed, in the article, it shows how much he spent on the pepper spray. He spent, like, this is how much this costed. On the vest he got was $300, and he said, and Johnny Knoxville was like, to get a good vest, like a good bulletproof vest, you need to spend $780, and I was spending half that. So I got the cheapest bulletproof vest. That's all he could afford for this.
Oh, no.
So you're already cringing him telling that. They get out there, and when they get out to where they're going to do that, the guy that was supposed to shoot the gun, like, place it where it's supposed to be placed at, stopped. He was like, I can't do it anymore. He's like, or no, it was the guy photographing or whatever. And I think the guy that was going to shoot him said, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to be involved with this. I'm not going to shoot you. Like, I'm not doing this. This is crazy. The guy that was supposed to take the pictures, or the guy that's supposed to take the video, his friend killed himself with a gun. And he was like, this is bringing back, I can't be involved with this.
Oh,
he just stays in the car. And they give the guy, this random like guy, the camera, and he's never held a camera in his life. So it's kind of shaky at the beginning, but he does hold it. But he's like, oh God, and then you see it. So all the music drops out and you see the footage. And Johnny Knoxville's holding it, and he's holding the chamber and stuff, and you're just like, God almighty. And he clicks it, and there's nothing in the chamber. And he goes, go to the next one. And it's like, you're going to have to go all the way around. And it's like, oh my God. So you're watching this, and he ends up shooting it, and it's like, he ends up being fine. He said it felt like a shovel. Like someone just hit you with a shovel and stuff. He's fine. It didn't go, like, cause anything, but... Very just like crazy documentary. I don't know if I would recommend it. If you liked Jackass and all that stuff,
I love that stuff growing up. It's like, as a kid, that was the coolest stuff ever. Because I love Bam Margera, I love Steve-O.
So one cool thing about Bam Margera in this, because Bam Margera, of course, gets involved in Jackass and all that, and his career takes off. When they were doing their video tour in the Midwest, they go to Pennsylvania, where Bam is from, and they're just randomly at a subway spot in Pennsylvania or out in the city. And they see Bam skating, and they have Bam skating in the video. They actually filmed, at this time, they're just like, hey, cool kid, and they have him in the video for a little bit, and they're talking to him, and his dad's there, Phil is there.
Oh, my gosh!
Him, like, in the city as he's skating, and you get to see Like I think they put him in the magazine too. But how crazy is that? And then like years later,
he actually comes
to be a part of it.
Wow, that's really cool.
You know what I mean? Like they just got kind of a power team, and then they kind of built this kind of thing.
That is insane. That's actually very. It's on Hulu. I have Hulu. Yeah. That's very interesting.
Very gross at times. Very extremely gross at times.
Oh yeah, but, I've seen those movies. I know.
But if you've seen Jackass, you can handle it.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
I'm watching Leftovers. I've seen a lot already.
You have seen a lot
Dude,
already.
hold on. Before we end the podcast, can I just bring up one thing?
Yeah.
The scene in the Leftovers.
Spoilers for Leftovers.
Where he walks out without any pants on, and they were sitting there. Chrissy and Tom was sitting there at the table, and the dude walks up and says, "You talk to me," and he had the blue shirt and he had no pants on and just showed his junk.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No,
I sat there. I was literally like, "That's a penis." Yeah. But then I actually thought, I was like, this has come from the people who do Game of Thrones, and I'm pretty sure that has a ton of male genitalia. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. That show doesn't go crazy with that stuff.
I literally laughed. I was like, huh. I was like, wasn't ready for that one. Yeah. Like I was not ready for that one.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna mention the party scene.
The party scene was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about like watching that show with Johnny Knoxville and everybody. I was like, that was like they like burn and they took a hot fork and I was like, what kind of spin the bottle is this crap? They're over there spinning an iPhone. Then, oh my gosh, when they got in the room.
Travis cringed at that, but I really was like, that's one, what teenagers do. They just do stupid stuff. Crap. But two, you're in this very dark world. The world they've created is this world of like, we don't know what is happening. We can't move on from it.
Yeah, dude.
And it's like the children are affected. Everybody's
when they walked in the room, she got choke or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there
like a mini sex scene.
I was like, this is terrible. Like this is kind of awful.
Yeah.
like
but you're immediately set in that world and stuff.
Again, grim. But you mentioned that show, and I was like, you know what? I basically the other day I was like, I saw a penis. Like I was like, that was a thing. So I don't know why it made me think of that.
Probably that was the goal, to get you to watch Leftovers. That's all I wanted you to see. You can stop now.
Oh man.
Well, I think we've had a good podcast.
It was
I
solid.
would say the best yet. Since now
you're very happy about Leftovers right now.
Maybe if we have two of the best, maybe it's better. Maybe we have to talk about Travis.
I think next month we're gonna have a very open discussion about a TV show.
I say we go Johnny Knoxville style and hold a gun to Travis's
chest,
to his bulletproof vest, and say, "Are you a Leftovers
You know what?
fan?"
We're gonna start a magazine. It's gonna be called
Smart. It's gonna be called Smart.
Oh yeah, Smart. We're gonna call it Smart. And
story of little brother, little sister magazine. Yeah.
We're going to have a guy who doesn't know how to hold a camera, and we're going to do some really risque stuff.
Yeah,
like study.
You never know. But thank you for joining us. Hopefully Travis comes back.
Yeah, hopefully.
We're gonna send some good vibes to him. He's gonna be back, and then we're getting on him for Leftovers. What else are we getting him on for? He's gonna say Sonic the Hedgehog is great. What else are we gonna make him say?
Man, he's gonna
go
to
hate
McDonald's.
Dark Souls. He's gonna go to McDonald's, and we're gonna make him go to McDonald's.
We're gonna make him do an improv skit
because now it's 2 versus 1.
It is.
So
you have to be. It's too late.
So I hope you enjoyed the power team. We got Ray Kroc here. We got Miss Ronald McDonald.
Miss Ronald McDonald?
Miss Ronald McDonald.
Oh, man, that's a real...
Is there a girlfriend to Ronald
I have
McDonald?
never seen a girlfriend. Now, there's...
I bet if I look up on Google, there's not safe for work stuff about
No,
Ronald
I'm sure you would not enjoy what you see.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Some clown porn.
Especially since you... We got some hangouts coming up, man.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
You know... I think they make a McDonald's game. You should play one on the...
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Oh, man. That'd be a messed up hangout. We get taken down for that one.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it is what it is.
So hope you enjoyed. Check out DweeBoYT on Twitter. That is where we put all our updates on when podcasts come out, when we're doing a hangout, when you can catch us live and chat with us during the hangouts. When we're putting clips on there, we've been putting out... we did a show called Dweebs. We did, and we're kind of splicing out different like skits we did on that, and music videos, all that fun stuff. We'll post on Twitter. You'll hear about that. That's kind of like the FBI of Dweebs.
Yeah.
That's where you get into the nitty gritty. But hope you enjoyed. We've got more hangouts coming out this coming month.
We got some really awesome hangouts
We usually
planned.
did those on Thursdays at 7:30. There is some that are moving around, so some people can join us because that doesn't work for their schedule. But I will let you know on that DweeBo YT.
We need to. I know we've talked about. We need to do some VR hangouts, man.
Yes,
we need to do a VR.
And we probably will talk more right after this. About that.
There we go. We're planning.
It's happening. So thank you for watching. Click like if you liked it. Worth a like. Made you laugh. And we will see you on the other side. Goodbye. Good night. Goodbye. Good night. Goodbye night. Can't even speak. It's the coronavirus stuff. Sorry.
You're getting all.
Yeah.
I'm
looking. A little.
Cover my mouth.
Maybe cover your mouth.
That's not good. I've been an hour with you.
Yeah. Whoops.